Hello guys, Crispy here, welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm gonna be testing a GeForce RTX 4060 in Black Myth Wukong. This one is the MSI Ventus version of the card. We are running it with the latest Nvidia drivers, and I'm not manually overclocking it. You can see all of its specs right here in Tech Power-Up's GPU Z. Resizable bar is also enabled. And over on the left, I'm pairing it with a Ryzen 9 7950X 3D with half of its cores disabled, making it basically the same as a 7800X 3D, and 32GB of DDR5 6000MHz CL30 RAM in dual channel. Let's get into it, shall we? And here we have it, guys. Black Myth Wukong on the 4060, getting 60 to 70 frames per second. Let me go over the settings, of course, first. And I am starting at 1080p resolution. I'm also going to test this one at 1440p and 4K using DLSS at 100% resolution scaling, which means that it's using DLAA, which means that it is at native resolution at the moment. And going to the settings preset right here, you can see that it's set to custom because I'm using the performance settings from Hardware Unboxed. So these will give you the best visuals to performance ratio, emphasizing the performance part of it. Okay, so it will perform a little bit better than their quality preset, for example. But compared to the preset levels like high settings, for example, it actually ends up looking very, very similar, or maybe even better because some of the settings are set to cinematic while retaining pretty decent performance. As you can see, at native 1080p resolution, we're above 60 FPS with the RTX 4060, although it is starting to drop a little bit sometimes into the 50s, unfortunately, but we still have that DLSS support, so we can use like low resolution scale, for example, or frame generation as well, so I will try that out later in this video. Anyways, I just started the game like 20 minutes ago, played through the first section of it and so on, and so far, so good. I haven't really seen major stuttering or anything. I mean, there will be the odd stutter here and there from traversal stuttering, basically, but it's not too bad. It's just an UE5 engine type of thing. Oh my god, I'm dead. That was a bad start. Let's continue here. Still getting those 60s around this area with a lot of vegetation as well. It's not really that terribly optimized if you consider the optimized settings that we're utilizing here. They look very good, you know, the game is still super detailed. It doesn't consume a ton of VRAM even with very high textures that I'm utilizing here, and I mean, yeah, it does drop into the 50s with a 4060, which is kind of terrible, but it's UE5. Compared to other UE5 titles, it's not the worst optimized one, in my opinion. And again, it actually does look really, really good for the performance it's getting, and you can always drop down the settings a little bit. There's a lot of scaling in this title, at the very least, so I like to see that. Although, a little bit better optimization wouldn't hurt it. Oh my god. Alright, buddy, please get away. Oh boy, this is Elden Ring all over again, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not very good at these games. Yeah. Come on. Let's go. Kill the bitch. I need to heal myself again, kind of, I think. Yes, I do. Okay, again, please. Thank you very much. No more potions. That's terrible. Down into the 50s at times. What the hell? What happened there? Oh, I did something. Okay, created like a mirage of myself. Oh my god, a little copy. And the guy was confused because of it, probably. Come on. As you can see, no major stuttering once again. At least so far, I haven't seen any single stutter, actually, in this video. Yeah. What the hell? What is happening? What is going on? Am I dead? No, I'm not dead. Okay. All right, we did something, somehow. I don't even know what I did, but okay, it's working. What the hell are you? Can we move on from this? Also, cutscene, depth of field, graphics, they look pretty good. I like the art style as well. All right, look at that, dropping down into the 40s at times. All right, I'm gonna do it. Okay, so he just gave us this spell thingy here, and it drops our FPS kind of like crazy, right? Like, what the heck is going on? Why am I getting 40 FPS? Previously, it was in the 60s. That's bad. I don't want to use spells then. Come on. Oh boy. Okay, come on. Let's go. We're almost doing this, guys. I think we're gonna make it. Look at that. Let's do a heavy attack. There we go. And one final blow. There we go. Ah, beautiful. I just wasted all of my potions. It seems to be stable for the most part, at least if you are after that 50 plus FPS experience all of the time, which again is not amazing, but it's definitely passable in a game like this, I guess. Although for 4060, once again, with optimized settings, it could definitely be better, right? Anyway, I'm gonna stop it right there, guys, and I'm gonna try to turn this down a little to like 80% resolution scale, see how it looks with DLSS quality. It's not real quality because DLSS quality is usually 67%, but we can make it look a little bit better than that, of course, by using 80% resolution scale, and I think this is kind of the sweet spot if you are willing to sacrifice a little bit of that resolution, you know. It is slightly more pixelated, especially on the clothes that I'm utilizing here while moving, you know. You can see some pixelation there, but it's not the end of the world. It's not absolutely terrible. This is much smoother of an experience. You're not going to lose much in terms of that visual quality because you're not only running the game at 80% resolution scale, you're also utilizing the DLSS, the upscaler, you know, and it looks very good, of course. And yeah, I would totally play like this to achieve 60 plus FPS all of the time instead of getting 60 average and 40-ish 1% lows. I think this is definitely the way to go. And also, this game has the benchmark tool, which I'm sure a lot of people have already seen on YouTube because it's been out for a while now. I was on vacation during that time, so I couldn't really test the benchmark tool. Well, I could now, but I prefer to play the game right now, okay, instead of doing a little benchmark. Now, if instead of playing with 80% resolution scale, you prefer to play at native resolution with frame generation, that usually looks a little bit better than what we just utilized, just lowering down the resolution scale with the DLSS at the same time. So I'm gonna do that, and if the FPS, the base FPS were good enough, the input lag shouldn't be too terrible here with frame generation. And indeed, it feels quite nice because it's above 100 frames per second. And right now, dropping down into the 90s sometimes. I guess it is all right, guys. It's not too bad. There is a little bit of added input lag for sure, but the visuals are much closer like this to the native resolution stuff than they were with dropping down the DLSS slider there, resolution scale slider. So pick your poison, basically. I think you can definitely get used to this input lag increase from frame generation in this game. It doesn't feel bad. It's not a multiplayer shooter or first-person shooter, so I can definitely live with that. My God, what the hell? No. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. There we go. Come on. Heavy attack again, please. Let's go. My God, I'm dead. Oh no, we're all the way back here. Oh, that's terrible. Well, I guess we can compare it a little bit to the native resolution stuff now, because I'm about to do everything all over again. And hopefully I won't need to fight that big one again, because I'm not really feeling like it. Alright, thankfully we don't need to do that. There's a little bit of flickering here on the grass, which was still there at native resolution, by the way. Don't like to see that too much, but at the same time, it's okay, it's passable, right? It's not game breaking or immersion breaking, in my opinion. It doesn't really happen very often either. Like right here, nothing is flickering, so that's great. But yeah, it's safe to say that it will stay around 100 frames per second. Maybe in worst case scenarios, it will drop down into the 80s, even 70s, you know, if there are a ton of effects on screen. But overall, it's a pretty decent experience here at the 1080p frame generation and optimized settings for performance. So I'm gonna stop it there, and I think we should move on to like 1440p resolution. I'm gonna have to restart the game for that actually, and I will disable frame generation at the same time. You could also utilize, by the way, TSR or FSR over here. You can't really disable DLSS completely, but I think the LAA or DLSS in general looks better, so I'm gonna keep utilizing that. And here we have it. We're at 1440p resolution using DLSS 100% resolution scaling, so DLAA or native resolution, still utilizing the same Hardware Unboxed optimized settings for performance. And as you can see, using these settings, it's getting us around 50, 40s. Yep, this is where we started at 1080p resolution as well, where we saw it drop down into like the 50s, high 50s, you know, and here it drops down to the low 40s basically at 1440p resolution. Now, I wouldn't really play like this. It's still playable, you know. You can play this game absolutely fine with 40 frames per second or even like 30 frames per second if you play with a controller, for example, and lock it to 30 FPS and get used to that experience. Maybe add a little bit of motion blur at the same time. It'll feel all right. But the thing is, using DLSS on like 75% scaling, for example, at 1440p still looks very good, and you also got that frame generation stuff as well to utilize if you want to. Although the lower the base frame rate is, the worse the input lag will feel when you turn on that frame generation. So I don't really recommend you to do that when the base FPS are at 40 frames per second, you know, but you do whatever you want. I'll still show it to you, okay? Anyway, around here, not too bad still. G-Sync is also enabled here in the capture card today, so no problems in terms of tearing or anything. It's all right. It looks very good here at 1440p native resolution with these settings, but it's not what I'd pick once again, just because DLSS quality is that good, you know? Anyway, let's fight these guys, see a little bit of action and effects, and actually I'm gonna do this as well, see if it drops the FPS with those effects. It didn't really. Yeah, I don't know why it dropped so much previously. Again, it was probably because we saw a... Oh boy, that's a big one. I don't really want to do this, especially without my power, my ability. Terrible idea. This is a terrible idea. Oh my god, he doesn't even lose that much HP. Look at that. Oh my god, I do lose a lot of HP. I don't want this. I don't. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You know what? Stay right there. Stay. No, I don't want to lock into him. Come on. I want to go this way. You know what? I need more FPS. That's what I need. Yes. Let's go ahead and enable that frame generation on top of native resolution here. Also at 1440p with the very high textures. It's still not running out of VRAM, which is very impressive once again. Anyway, as you can see, it doesn't quite double our FPS here with the frame generation. Input lag-wise, it's definitely noticeable at the moment, but still not completely horrible considering this is a third-person game that doesn't really need too fast reactions, or it doesn't need you to be too accurate. My god, stop it! What the hell is that bow? Jeez, I want that actually. So frame generation here on top of 1440p looks pretty good. I'd like to be able to escape those or avoid those attacks a little bit better. I need healing. I need healing again. Come on, buddy. No, my god. Oh my god. Come on. Ah! You fat bastard! You're gonna kill me! No, you're not! There we go. There we go. We did it. Anyway, if all you want is 60 FPS with the 30 to 40 FPS input lag experience, this is gonna do it, okay? It does look very smooth. It just feels like it's not really 60 FPS because of that input lag addition. But it's still not terrible. I was expecting it to have a bit more input lag here with 60 FPS. Maybe they're doing something to minimize the input lag, or maybe I'm just getting used to it at this point after testing so many titles and so many frame generations and so on. Yeah, it could be that, but it's not really feeling too terrible. Oh, he turned me into a fly? Oh, you gotta be kidding me! Okay, oh, that depth of field, by the way. It's just fly vision, I guess. I look super cute, actually. Somehow, this bug, if I saw him in real life, I wouldn't think it was cute. But yeah, it's not too bad. Look at that thick frame time graph sometimes because of frame generation. Again, it's not bad, but I wouldn't really choose to play like this because you can just turn off frame generation, have DLSS at like 75%, and achieve probably around the same FPS as we were getting with frame generation while having very good visuals still in terms of that resolution, you know, and native input lag basically, although it's still getting 50s, so it's not great. Should I stay here? What am I supposed to do? Oh, I can actually turn myself into the monkey again and kill them bastards. Here we go. Haha! Get wrecked, you bastards. Seems like it's getting around the same FPS even without the depth of field effects right now from the fly vision. Yeah, there we go. 60s, dropping into the 50s sometimes. But again, these are native FPS this time around. It might not look as smooth on YouTube as it did previously, but it doesn't look bad at all. My God. Hi, dudes. Are you friendly, actually? Maybe he is friendly. No, he's not! Let's go away. Let's go away. This way, this way. Okay, start counting our FPS. I totally forgot about that. I'm sorry, guys. Let's go. I'm fine. What the hell? That's some really weird noise he's making. Okay, all good. All good. Come on. Come on. Come on. I can do this. Yes, sir. Let's grab some mushrooms as well. Maybe we can eat those and regenerate some health. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to stop it right there, guys. I'm going to do 67%. It's tempting to go with 69% resolution scale, but I'm going to go with 67%, which is the quality DLSS that you see in most titles that just allow you to select quality, balanced, performance, ultra performance, you know. 67% is the quality setting, and here it should be enough. Why am I weird like that? Oh, evil repelling medicament. That's what I ate, actually. As you can see, with that little resolution drop, it stays above 60 FPS most of the time. Although here by the water, it seems to be pretty intensive and it's dropping into the 40s. So you're not gonna get 60 plus FPS all of the time here, at least using these optimized settings, which perform very closely to like medium to high, somewhere in between. Come on, come on, come on, almost dead, almost dead. There we go, there we go. I'm gonna heal myself right now. So yeah, if you can't get 60 plus FPS like this, I think the way to get 60 plus FPS is probably utilizing DLSS. It was at 67, wasn't it? Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's quality DLSS with frame generation enabled at the same time. And you know what? It actually looked pretty over-sharpened with 67% resolution scaling and DLSS at the same time at 1440p. So frame generation usually smooths things out slightly and makes it not look that over-sharpened anymore. So it might actually end up looking a little bit better to some people's eyes, at least. With that FG enabled at the same time. In terms of artifacting and stuff like that, maybe while moving through the grass like this, the vegetation, you can see that it gets a little bit fuzzy, you know, but most of the picture actually looks pretty good still with frame generation enabled in this game. So it's a good implementation, I would say. So there's that. If you want 60 plus at 1440, again, these are the settings to go with. And I'm gonna die, am I not? Also, VRAM usage, even with FG, which does consume a bit more VRAM than native res and stuff, it is performing quite well. It's not eating a ton of VRAM. It's totally in the safe zone. I think I gotta wait for my attack, or my spell actually, to be available. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep dying and getting wrecked by this guy. Oh boy, oh boy. We just gotta wait like 5 more times for that thing. There we go. While avoiding all of the attacks from this beast of a guy. What the heck? Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Good, 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 good. All right, let me go back. Maybe like 2 more times. Oh boy. Get away, get away. No, 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 no. Buddy, stop, stop. My God. All right, I'm fine. Oh boy, no. No, he throws things at me as well. This is completely unfair. Damn. All right. For some reason, he's kind of reminding me of the Ninja Turtles. I don't know why. It's probably because of his weapon. This is the real Bob, by the way. I'm sure of it. I'm just waiting here. Yes, he's just waiting as well. Both of us are just waiting for my attacks to refill. Oh, yes. No, 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 no. Okay, 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 okay. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. There we go. There we go. Come on. God, that sucks. What the hell? No, I'm done with this. I'm gonna kill you, you bastard. Stop. Yeah. 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 No, 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 no. Yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah. No, yeah. Stop. Stop. No! No! Yeah. God damn it! Oh boy, this is now 4K resolution, guys, and it sucks. So 3840 by 2160 res, DLSS 100%, so native resolution, still using the optimized for performance settings, and yep, it's terrible. It's a cinematic experience, you could say, actually, like 24 FPS sometimes, but sometimes it actually drops. This is not good. Oh my god. I mean, it would have been good for like a GT 710, but for an RTX 4060, nope. I don't think we can play it at 4K res, guys, with decent FPS. Maybe with DLSS performance and frame generation at the same time, but at native, it's not gonna happen. Let's try that though. I'm gonna set it to 50% resolution scale, which is performance DLSS. And I'm gonna go back to the game now, getting 40s. And it actually looks pretty decent still. I can tell that it's not native resolution anymore, but it's not blurry, it's not pixelated. It actually looks decent, guys, once again. Maybe there's a little bit of a more emphasized halo effect around the character moving, but it's not bad by any means. I think I would be happy enough playing this game at performance DLSS, even with something like an RTX 4080, for example, you know? Because although that is going to wreck this GPU, obviously, at 4K resolution and get way higher FPS, I mean, performance DLSS just looks that good in this particular title to where I don't really care about the lower quality. You know, it's not that lower, in my opinion. Anyway, it's still 50 FPS, and sometimes it drops into the 40s, so it doesn't really feel that smooth, you know, or at least not as smooth as I'd like it to be. So I'm going back, am I not? It doesn't matter. Let's go. I don't want to fight that other big guy once again. It's very hard. Oh boy, and we can see a lot of traversal stuttering right now while traveling through the world, of course, through these different areas and so on. And look at that, almost 60 FPS here. Not bad. It still looks like it has that little bit of an over-sharpened look, which I'm not a fan of, honestly, but doesn't really matter too much. Again, I wouldn't have a problem playing this game at the DLSS 50% resolution scaling or performance mode in 4K resolution. So I'm gonna go ahead and enable that frame generation stuff now, and ooh, it doesn't increase our FPS by too much, guys. Yet the input lag is definitely worse. It's like 30 FPS input lag at this point, basically. Not good, guys. I thought frame generation at 4K would actually save the little 4060 plus DLSS performance, you know, but it kind of doesn't, really. It's pretty bad. Don't know what's going on. Maybe it's just the 4060 that's not capable enough for FG at 4K in this particular title, unfortunately. And this is what we end up with. Pretty similar FPS, maybe slightly higher, but no major improvements at all, unfortunately. I'm gonna disable that again. Yeah, it's getting like 5 less FPS, but now it actually feels like native FPS because of the input lag being the same as 50 frames per second input lag. But what if we lowered this down to like 25%? That's really low of a resolution, guys. Somehow it doesn't look terrible. There is a lot of issues with the image, for sure, like blurriness and softness everywhere, and kind of artifacting as well. We're using FG after all, but now we're at above 60 FPS. This is what it takes for the RTX 4060 to play this game at 60 plus FPS. 69 there for a while, actually. Most of the time here at 4K resolution. Well, 4K resolution, because it's not 4K at all anymore. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Drink! Drink, buddy, drink! Let's go! Oh boy! Let's go back to 1080p resolution, test it like that for a little bit, and with ray tracing, and that's gonna be it for this video. Here we go, guys. I just restarted the game to fully apply every setting, and we're back to 1080p resolution using DLSS 100%, so still native res. very high ray tracing and full ray tracing. This is path tracing actually, so super demanding, and still using the custom performance settings from Hardware Unboxed. Also, I've seen a bug that sometimes in this game it tells you that you are at 1080p resolution and native res as well, 100% resolution scale, but in reality, if you get to the game, it looks like this. It's really pixelated, pretty terrible. It's definitely not at native resolution or 1080p resolution either. And if you come across this issue, the fix for it is just to set it to windowed mode, confirm, go back to the game, and now it is at native resolution, as you can see, 18 FPS. Damn, that's terrible. I'm gonna go back to borderless, okay? Because now it is applied and it won't really have any issues here. And as you can see, now we're at native resolution, borderless again, getting 21 frames per second. And it is absolutely terrible of an experience, kind of even worse than the 4K native resolution with the optimized settings. But it looks kind of insane. Like the lighting quality as well as the shadow quality are definitely improved here when using ray tracing in this game, or path tracing in this case. So with higher end GPUs, I might actually consider playing with ray tracing if the performance is decent enough with like a 4080 Super that I have, for example. That's nice because sometimes ray tracing doesn't really do much, you know? Anyway, I'll drop this down to 67% resolution scaling now, which is quality DLSS on top of native resolution. And it means that it's being rendered at 720p res and upscaled to 1080p. It doesn't look terrible. You know, I can definitely tell that it is being upscaled. There's over-sharpening all over. And it's getting 30 plus FPS at the very least. So it's not horrible, but I think it will end up dropping into the 20s sometimes, especially near water and waterfalls and stuff. Like that's pretty intensive in this game, apparently. Although this water right here doesn't seem to be dropping our FPS by too much. So yeah, if you want to do path tracing with the RTX 4060, it's going to be possible, kind of. It's getting 30 plus. If you lock it to 30, it should be playable. Once again, add a little bit of motion blur on top of it as well. And I mean, it might feel all right. Look at this area, by the way. Looking pretty decent in terms of that ray tracing quality, but I would totally avoid using ray tracing with this GPU. It doesn't have the horsepower to run ray tracing very well, and you can definitely tell that, right? But let's try it now with frame generation as well. Also, it always drops it down to 66% instead of 67% when you set it to 67%, which is weird. Doesn't matter, but it's something that I noticed there. Let's start counting our FPS this time. It's around 60 most of the time, again with the input lag of about half of the frame rate, so it will not feel that great in terms of mouse movements and so on, and input lag basically, but it is at the same time a bit impressive to see those 60 FPS with path tracing on an RTX 4060. Again, this GPU is just not meant at all for path tracing. So the fact that it can do it a little bit, okay, sacrificing the input lag, you know, and some of the resolution at the same time, but still managing decent graphics overall is pretty impressive, once again. I think for the last setting in this video, I'm gonna try it for a little bit with ray tracing, not on very high, okay, so not on path tracing. It comes from very high to medium. Interesting. I'm going to set it to medium instead. And as you can see, it gives us quite a bit higher FPS, 70s instead of 60s. This is still with frame generation and DLSS quality at the same time. There's quite a lot of pixelation around the character while moving through grass and so on. But it definitely feels a bit better in terms of that input lag and the smoothness overall as well, because it's not dropping into the 50s anymore. So yeah, if you want ray tracing, keep it on medium, play with DLSS quality plus frame generation. It will feel pretty decent and it will look pretty great at the same time. So yep, that's been it. I'm probably just gonna die here, so I'm gonna leave it right there, guys, and try to fight this guy off camera and with more patience. And I'll be back with another Wukong video very soon for you. Thanks for watching. Love you all. Bye-bye. Oh boy.